And so single men are basically the most dangerous thing in the world. There's no group in the world that's ascended faster than women.
Right.
More women are seeking tertiary education globally than men now.
Yeah.
Twice as many women have been elected to some sort of form of parliament in the last 30 years. More single women own homes in the U.S. than single men. In urban centers, women are making more money under the age of 30 than men. And by the way, we should do nothing to get in the way with that.
Yeah, no,
That's
dude.
amazing.
I'm a League of Their Own fan, you know?
That's amazing. But the second order effect we were planning on, and we don't like to talk about this, is that 50% of women say they won't date a guy shorter than them. I bet it's 80%. They're just embarrassed to admit it. Mm-hmm. And metaphorically, every year, women are getting taller and men are getting shorter.
Yeah.
So...
Is that true?
Well, metaphorically, if you look at how many, 100% women are killing it right now.
Yeah.
50% more women will get college degrees this year. Right? So...
More than men?
It's 60-40.
Right.
It used to be 40-60.
Got it. So that's it. Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, it's about 50% more in a couple of years.
1 in 3 men walking down the street under the age of 30 hasn't had sex in the last year. So in mating, if we're going to have an honest conversation about mating, we have to have an honest conversation. Women mate socioeconomically horizontally and up, men horizontally and down. 3 out of 4 women say economic viability is key to a mate. Only 1 in 3 men state that. So when the pool of horizontal and up of men is shrinking, there's less household formation, there's less relationships. And the weird thing about a lack of a relationship is that when a woman doesn't have a romantic relationship, she finds more productive uses for that additional energy. She'll channel it into work, she'll channel it into her friends, into her family. Guys come off the rails when they don't have the guideposts of a romantic relationship. I think guys need that guidepost of a relationship. And oftentimes when men don't have the guideposts of a relationship, they become insecure. They start becoming more prone to conspiracy theory. And they start blaming women. They start blaming other people. I mean, some of the skills to maintain a healthy relationship are some of the same skills required to be professionally successful. And so single men are basically the most dangerous thing in the world, is a young, single, broke man. And I don't want to pathologize every guy that doesn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
If you look at the most violent, unstable societies in the world, they have a preponderance of one thing, and that is young men without a lot of economic and romantic opportunities.
And you're saying we're creating more of those now?
Oh, 100%.
Wow. So
twice as many women under the age of 30 are in a relationship versus men under the age of 30. 3 million millennial men have given up on dating. They're not even trying.
Hey, so I did an article on LinkedIn in regards to the massive job losses that are occurring, not only with just women, but also like desperately within the Black community, my community, where as of April 2025, there has been 304,000 job loss by Black women, and it's all due to AI and automation. So what I found is, now we are in July, so I'm sure that number is much higher. And it is definitely letting you know that there's a need for rebranding, reskilling yourself with the new technology that is happening, that we literally cannot get around. So there is a rise of job loss, but I don't want you guys to panic, because there's so many programs that you can, be a part of in order to be able to gain these skills in artificial intelligence and other technologies, right? But what I wanted to talk about is that, I do come across certain videos, whereas I am finding that we as women have been able to take care of ourselves without having to put up with just nonsense from the opposite sex, because we were able to hold jobs. We got degrees, we held jobs that can pay our mortgages and, build us up. Everyone is not an entrepreneur, but we are looking at, the disproportion of job loss due to automation and AI. We cannot get around it. but I need you guys to get out your feelings, okay? It's not a one person thing, it's not an administration thing, it's not God, punishing us. This is all a part of evolution, right? And to be honest with you, I feel as though we're going more into a creative society where you're able to just show up and be yourself and make, earn some income, if that's what you want to do. So what I want to encourage all women, if possible, because I'm seeing the videos of the men who are actually waiting for you, because there has been a transition of women decentering men, and now they're waiting for us to come and crawl back, because now they feel in their mind they're losing jobs too now. But for some reason, because the articles are coming out that we are losing jobs, that we are going to now have to basically beg them to be with us in order to support us. So you don't want to go down that route. I promise you, it's not going to be pretty. Now, if you do get a man who's a provider and he loves you and he has the means to do so, then go for it. If you already have a husband or a significant other and you have the means to, be supported, and that's what you want to do, that's fine. However, I want to talk to women and let them know that we're going to have to go back into community mode, okay? We have been under the guise of patriarchy, and please excuse my writing. I swear I couldn't be a teacher because of my writing. So patriarchy, all right? And that's what got us where we are. But prior to patriarchy, we had something called matriarchy, where the women rule. Okay. Now, there are still communities in different countries that go by this. Okay. So this is not anything new. We had this, the colonizers came over, let's talk about the United States, the Americas. Colonizers came over and they overthrew the matriarchy and made it a patriarchy system. And that's what we've been under. The way I'm seeing it is the patriarchy system is actually collapsing. Okay. It had its time, it did its thing, and now it's time to go back to mother. Okay. I think that's why the planet is behaving the way it's mother nature, right? And she's behaving the way she's behaving because she is correcting a lot of things that were damaged over here. Okay. And women decentering men. And when I say decenter, I'm not saying like we don't want to be with y'all, but our lives does not center around you. I do great artwork on AI, so but our lives does not center. You're no longer the center of our world. If we want to date you, great. If we don't, great, right? And that's where lies the problem. Okay. So what I'm suggesting, and I wanted to do this visual so we can really understand what is happening and how we can get to, make sure that we're all taken care of. Under the matriarchy, it was community. Okay. Village. Right. Over here, it's competition. I'm gonna spell that right. Okay. Builder. All right. It's not necessarily warrior because that could be on both sides. Okay. Great warriors. Gaddafi had a, all woman army, right? So because we are now going into the creative society, this side make more sense for us to start building on, okay? Now, I'm not saying that we have to go into these mass movements and it has to be like this nonprofit and everybody has to sign up and all the things. And no, you could start with your pocket group of women. To right over here. All right. And you can pull your resources together by a house or apartment home. And everyone gets a unit and you pay the mortgage. And the mortgage price, you know, with everyone's in it, $500, right? Now, with this community, you'll be raising children. Now, the disclaimer is if you already have a family dynamic set up, that's fine. Do you? This is not for you. Your husband, your kids, you know, everything is great. I got my man. You don't need to troll. And so this is for women who knows what's coming down the pipeline because they're not screaming my man, my man. They're screaming my degrees. They're screaming my salary. They're screaming my car, my mortgage, my house, my vacation, you know, creating the soft life for themselves. And for some reason, a lot of ex-wives are upset about that, which I don't understand why, but we see it all the time. So it's not like something I'm making up. I'm just looking, I have a lot of hindsights and I'm seeing what's going to happen because if women start losing jobs, which is happening already, and can't figure out how to make whatever they're making, we're going to start seeing videos of women losing things, okay? And they're waiting. Like deep in the night. It looked like a ninja turtle now. You know, the smirk on their face, and you know, they will. You need me. And the worst thing to do is to be up under a man that now resents you because you didn't need him. You may have wanted him, but you didn't need him before. And now you have to go and be nice. I saw a video on TikTok and the man said women were getting kicked off of food stamps in Section 8. And he was saying, I can't wait till they start begging us to be with them. Do you really want to be like for real? Like we're like not understanding what's happening, you know, because I'm realizing the disproportion of funding that is happening even in the AI space. So everyone, let's just say all of you that is looking at this, go into the AI realm, right? The VC funding right now, put in blue, for startups that are women owned is less than 2%. Yep, there is less than 2%. Even though tech been out for what? 30, well, AI been around since the 50s, but you know, we've been heavy in technology for about what, 30 years? So women, 2% for VC funding. Now there's grants and things of that nature as a loan, but VC fund is a Series A, Series B that people are getting to start to do startups. Okay. Less than 2% goes to women. All right. So that's already a disproportionate component that is happening when it comes to women. So imagine a drove of us going into the space. And now we still fighting over that 2%. Okay. So, we are doing things. I'm a part of a couple of organizations that we're doing things to change that dynamic, but it's not going to be something that happened overnight. So in the meantime, in between time, yes, I need every woman that hears the sound of my voice to get some sort of skill in artificial intelligence. All right. You can focus on the tech, but the tech has to be tied to artificial intelligence because it just is what it is. Right. And what I would suggest in your groupings, whatever that look like, is to start having a serious conversation of how we are going to co-create together, cohabitat, co-build, to create a matriarchy economy. Okay, which means all of your dollars circulate in whatever that grouping is. Okay, this is going to be important, this cohabitat. That's why I say there's a lot of units, there's land that you can build units on, tiny homes, all the things. You can literally, it could be 6 of y'all, 10 of y'all, 20 of y'all. Put your name on a banking application or form some sort of LLC or whatever, talk to a banker and let them know how you can do it and start buying up properties. Okay. It doesn't even have to be in the United States. If you want to go overseas, then fine. Like my dream is me and my best friend to run off to Paris and live with just her and I. She has a husband. She could come back. And that would bring me to this point. So I'm not saying, I know we are decentering men, and it will only work because if you get a woman who centers men, it's not going to work over here. I honestly don't believe. But those of us, and again, when we say the word discentered, we're not saying we don't love you. We're not saying we don't want to be with you. We're not saying that, even though some women are, and that's their right to not want to be with men. They don't want relationships, and that is okay. But even those of us that will date, we're still not centering you because we're not put on this planet for that. The feminine energy is supposed to help the mother. Mother is Mother Nature. We have been out of order since we've been out of matriarchy. Matriarchy is creation. Okay. So I'm not even a Mason, but we are the master builders. Those that know the Boondocks, the men are the stone that the builder refused, right? We don't always refuse them, but we are the master builders, okay? And the reason why we're the master builders is because we build with our hands, all right? We are the only, out of the XY, XX chromosomes, that have a portal that brings life onto this planet, okay? We refuse the stone if we don't want to have children. Okay. Heterosexual man would not refuse having sex with us, but we can refuse having sex with them. Now they say they control marriage, right? Which they do, but they have to get on one knee, even though women are out there getting on one knee, but I digress. But they get on one knee to propose and marry us. But remember, marriage is a patriarchy construct because under the matriarchy, it wasn't like that. Okay. So, and you guys can look this up. This is all common knowledge. This is not something that I'm making up. But the reality of the situation, no matter how you feel about it, if you feel as though we should all be coming together and we should be loving each other, that's fine. Tell them that. Tell them that. going. Okay. So my suggestion is, and for me, I would love to do this because I be in my own little world. As long as I have my own space, I don't care. But you have your women, give you some hair over here. There's some babies, right? There's a bunch of them, right? And then you have her who, like homeboy over here. So she decides to go over and do her thing with homeboy over here. That is fine. All right. But because homeboy can't come over here, he needs to have his own house, his own car. Trust me, I'm really good at art. His own income. All right. Even if she doesn't want to take anything, he needs to be able to be self-sufficient and take care of himself. And then you go over there and you spend some time with homeboy. Okay. And it's fine. But we have to start creating the matriarchy economy here. And we got to start now. We got to start like yesterday because jobs are still being lost, you know. So instead of getting up on this app, giving them fuel, and when I say app, because I see a lot of it on TikTok, giving them fuel to say, I told you so, and you're going to come crawling back to me. And I mean, the worst of the worst of saying this, because a real man who is in his divine is not speaking like this. You are going to get some demons that if you have to go crawl back and beg them for anything because you're trying to survive, you're gonna be dragged to the pits of hell. I'm so sorry. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I don't know why we think we're special to them like that. It's not that. I promise you. They're waiting for it. They're waiting. And right now, there's women that still have jobs, still have savings, still have credit. There's women that are building credit. You have to start talking to your circle now so you guys can be able to come up with a plan now and start purchasing things so you can be okay. And I would say the more the merrier. If you get an apartment building and it has 20 units, then you have 20 sisters or, that can go in, kids or not, and beautify it and live in an oasis. And I would suggest not letting anyone in. Like, this is not for married women. This is not for women in committed relationships with significant others. You can stay over there with them. Y'all can build over here. But this is a community of women under the guise of matriarchy that is going to take care of themselves. We always say that there's a single mother epidemic. And maybe that's because we expect too much of them. Women are supposed to be raising children. And then when the boy gets a certain age, as a male, gets a certain age, then you send him to his father, and his father take him out and teach him things, okay? If you look back at tribal communities, because that was matriarchal, they got married young, but it's that whole process of boys to men. So the mothers rear them, like, people were flipping out with what Nellie was saying. And yes, in a society where we are told that it's supposed to be 50-50, it's never 50-50. The mother always does more. The fact of the matter that she has to carry the child for 9 months, lose herself herself, still starting wrong. Yeah, I get it. Herself during childbirth, parts of her has to die during childbirth. She ruins her body to bring someone's big head son into the world, or daughter, right? And we're still having the conversation of 50. Because they feel like all they got to do is provide money. She's providing money too. Okay? 50-50 doesn't work. It's not 50-50. It's never 50. As long as you have a womb, it's never 50-50. Even if you don't have children. If you was to compare the body parts, so let's just say he donates sperm, it's $18 or $20 or whatever they give you for sperm, right? You get a piece of, okay? For sperm. A woman can donate her eggs and make $30K. Sperm, they don't even give you per sperm. It's just whatever's in that cup. You're gonna think $20. She gets $30,000 on it. Women our bodies are physically worth more. There's no 50-50. That's dead. We're doing like 1 million. And they want to do 50. Okay. So, but the conversation that's surrounded about Shanti, I was torn with that because yes, you want the man that helped you push this baby out to be able to help at night with feedings and all the things. However, it's not really in his nature. And people are going to argue, oh, my man was good. That's your man. That's great. Your man evolved. That's amazing. That's not normal. That's not a normal story. You have single married women. Even if you get married, you're still by yourself in what you need to do to run households and, raise children. Men, I know men that didn't even know their children's birthday, what the name of the teacher, when were extracurriculum activities, didn't know their children's size, because that's not what they're concerned with. And maybe they should only be concerned with slaying dragons out in the wild. The problem with some of these men, they want you to be out here too slaying dragons. Now, if you're the mother of dragons, then that's fine, but we're not. They should be out there doing what they got to do, protecting the honeypot on this side, because this is where their future is being reproduced here. Okay. So I strongly suggest that women literally do what they have to do to make sure that they're not, like, you need to come hell or high water, not go on this side and beg. And the only way that's going to work is that we have to come together as community. Okay? Not competition. That's why I said leave them over here. And if you love that person and you want to move over there, he needs to have the setup so you can move over there. And then there should be some sort of guidelines where you can get out of your situation if that's what you want to do, because you don't want to pay over here anymore, or contribute over here anymore because you want to, live your life with him. And that's totally fine. I congratulate you if you found your person and you're able to have that type of lifestyle. But competition will enter once you start letting them over here, because that's the energy he brings. So I would say, do what you got to do to keep this sacred. And this should be in the forefront, not finding a man to take care of you although that is nice if he's a provider and he's generous and he's kind and all the things, because one day he could be a provider, but he could be an asshole. I had one of those. You want him to be kind too. Okay. You want him to not just be providing, he needs to be generous, because providing, oh, I pay your bills, or I pay the household bills because they're his bills too, but you can't get anything else. Like, you don't want to be in a situation where you're begging a man for something, because they will make you beg. It's embarrassing, especially after we put careers and degrees in our own, forget it, we put ourselves in front of them, because we were never supposed to do that. You were never supposed to put self first. Never was supposed to do that. And now we're doing it. And the things are shifting so fast that a lot of the jobs that we were able to have to fund our lifestyles are going away. Okay. So that is my TED Talk of the day. I hope it resonates with you guys, and I hope you pay attention, because I block men who tells me no. That is an N. I don't know why I would give you. It's an N. I block men who say no to me. Especially if they chase me. For what you thought. So imagine that no from a space of resentment, from a, like, I gotta. She can't go nowhere. So I'm gonna give her this little whatever. Grown woman, you keep giving you $100. You really want that? Like, you really, when you're gonna have a community of women and we love on each other, we take care of each other, we build each other up, co-create all the things. You decide, because there's going to be a clear decision. We're not integrated. Like, it's, I don't know why we need to just stop and love it. It's too far gone. Like, I feel like the perpetrators literally have to die off at this point, and new people go, oh, it's a good idea for us to, but this is collapsing. So not only are we getting rude awakenings, but our awakenings are actually more positive. Their awakenings are catastrophic, because they were told they were the prize. They were the prize. They're supposed to protect the prize. The prize is here. And as long as they hate you because of some rejection, that they feel like, oh my God, they want us to be better men. Oh my God, they want us to take them out and be nice and, respect them. How dare them? I'm the prize, because I'm a man and I got a penis and, and I make some money. This is a spiritual rude awakening that is happening. This is like, this is really divine. So I really highly suggest women to take heed to this video and start speaking with your inner circle. Like I said, it doesn't have to, if it's a movement, great, fine. I feel like movements tend to get out of hand. Maybe it could be something that someone create that has resources, where women could sign up, make it exclusive, because someone will sue on that side. women could sign up, make it private. I wouldn't post it on social media. It'd be literally word of mouth, you know. Lock the domain, lock the website up, and you have a password to get in, and then you have to tell who referred you and all those things, because I promise you they're not, or they're going to try to start their own thing, which is fine because they do mimic us. But it's going to be more of like a mockery, so I would suggest that if something that like a movement's going to happen, it's like, okay, we're going to have this resource where women could tap in and they'll know where to go, or they'll know how to, if they need food or whatever, clothing, all the things. This platform could be that resource for us, okay? But I suggest to keep it off of social media. Everything does not have to be on social media. It's enough of us that we could do the telephone call and say, hey, write this down, log in, blah, blah, blah. You can buy a domain name and you can make it private, so no one knows what it is. And you can have it where they have to put in some sort of password in order to get in. Like, that's how serious this is. That's how serious this is. So I want to bid you guys farewell until next time. Hope this helped. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye bye.